Would I have been something different if I was born and raised elsewhere? I then studied every belief, claim, or worldview I could find to discover the ultimate explanation for all things. In doing so, I found that many explanations couldn't account for many things that I could observe or prove themselves false or fell apart due to their own self-contradictions or contradictions between what they say and reality. For example, I encountered Trinitarian Christianity, which argues that God is both one and three, and that the infinite, immortal God is also a finite, mortal man. I encountered polytheists who argued that there are many gods, some eternal, some who popped out of nothing, who are all infinite but have created and finite human or animal forms, suffer ignorance, tiredness, and even injury. Some Pacific island religions consider volcanoes who created their island and whose sediments make the ground highly fertile for cultivation to be also eternal and divine. I've also found that many atheistic positions are not any more special or more coherent than these. For example, many materialistic worldviews argue that the universe which we see, which is finite, limited, and changing, is also somehow infinite and eternal at the same time. You just can't see it. Other atheist positions argue that the universe ultimately popped out of nothing, albeit with precisely measured amounts of energy, but no cause to determine that measure. Of course, there are also atheistic worldviews like types of Buddhism, which goes to show that atheism doesn't preclude spirituality, just God. When I encountered Islam, I found something different. That Islam describes God as a being of infinite or inexhaustible power and who possesses intentionality or will. He has no human or animal attributes, forms, natures, or appetites. Islam teaches that God is genderless, does not experience tiredness or ignorance, and exists without peer. Surah Ikhlas of the Quran makes clear, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say God is one, Allahu Samad. The self-sufficient, Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He does not reproduce, nor was he reproduced. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. There is nothing like him, which means he is without partner, because if there were other infinite gods, they would all limit each other and all would not be infinite or gods at all. This is the Islamic concept of God, a pure indivisible oneness, a cause and initiator for all things, a divine unity behind the multitude of created things. And it is the only explanation that is without contradictions and circular reasoning and does not need to appeal to any mystery to hide faults it simply doesn't have. Islam's message to mankind is to avoid the error of mixing the infinite and the finite together and creating false idols by attributing to limited and finite things the attributes that belong only to the Creator and vice versa. Instead, Islam asks mankind to recognize the infinite alone as the ultimate creator of all things, who is separate from his creation and not like it. Is this a God peculiar to Islam? No. Anyone on earth today or in history who worships an infinite, unlimited creator who willed all things into existence and does not resemble any finite things or creatures worships the same God we do, whatever religion they call themselves. Islam teaches that it is not something new, but merely a reiteration of the same message that has been repeatedly sent down to mankind throughout different times and places, producing commonalities in many religions throughout history.